Warning. The following podcast contains two highly strung people talking about their anxieties, fears, and worries. If you find any of the content offensive, then we are genuinely really sorry. We won't do it again, honest. Sorry.
Hello and welcome along to the Warriors podcast. 'Tis I, Barry Dodds, and
Did you forget?
Hayley Ellis. Don't know what.
Have you forgot the name of the podcast and also what era it is?
I just fancy talking medieval for a bit. Thine, wench.
But unfortunately, Barry isn't going to make it through this episode as he has the smallpox.
Go get fucking monkeypox in the minute.
I tell you now, honestly, if it's not one thing to worry about, it's something else, isn't it?
Nuts, isn't it? Nuts. And do you know what? So there's all this going on in the world, right? We're all going to get monkeypox, right? Like, we've just got over COVID. They're teeing up the next pandemic, right? Try to ignore all that from the world. Literally loading up the computer to do this. First thing that hits them, big advert. This is what happened when you eat sausages. Right, I know it wasn't just a picture of me, right, before you get your little... right.
Just you with big hamster cheeks.
Just turn your webcam on.
What happens when you eat sausages?
Oh, you get worms.
There was something on the other day, like you need to shut your windows throughout the whole of summer because some of these spiders getting in. Like, these... And honestly, you'd never leave the house. If you looked at everything, you just wouldn't move, would you?
I've got to say,
what?
And I apologise to the arachnophobics, of which I am one. There is a thing coming with the spiders because
shut up!
There is. It happened about 15 years ago as well. It's to do with not having a very wet winter and having a reasonably dry summer. Because what happens is, here we go, all the females, right, lay eggs.
No,
right,
don't, because this is knocking me sick, honestly.
Okay, all right, hang on. Right, the females reproduce, okay, but then, of course, the eggs then go on to become little spiders, okay, but the females die. The males, however, because their feeding cycle so much more, they live, and they end up massive and really horny and really aggressive. It's
so a giant horny spider's going to come into your house. Shut up.
It's a giant... honestly, it's a miniature big market of... it's
you don't know what a big market is. It's Newcastle city centre on a Saturday night.
It's that, but in your walls. You've got a big market in your house. And that, because I got bitten by one in that phase. I was sat playing on the computer, and I felt like a little, like, oh, ow, like a little... You know, if like a bit of fat like spurts in you when you're cooking your sausages properly, so you don't get fucking worms, right? A little bit, and I looked down, and it was there. I've still got the little bite mark on my arm.
On which of your 6 arms is it on?
So I've literally bought a big fucking thing of spider killer, which I don't want to use because I don't like killing them, but I've got to keep them out of the house. How's your worries doing?
Welcome to the show. You can't leave the house because you'll get monkeypox. You can't stay in because you'll get bitten by a spider. Welcome.
With a hard on.
Did you have to add that bit?
Fucking 9 legs, mate.
Let's do our worries of the week.
We got a lot of worries.
So it's the summer holidays. I'm taking my daughter to a lot of soft play. By the way, and cinema, because it's been raining a lot. You know when you want to do days out, but it's rainy. I went to the cinema. Every time I've been to the cinema this summer holidays, it's been like they've had the aircon on full whack. I'm sat there freezing my arse off thinking, I just want to get out because I'm so cold. So when I went to the cinema yesterday, I took a blanket with me.
Oh God, true. You're one of those. You're one of those people now. You know when you see them on the bus and they put the little blanket across their lap.
I don't care. It is shocking. Why are you turning up the aircon so cold when it's freezing outside? Like it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to happen. If it was a hot day,
it's not freezing.
It's not like Caribbean temperatures we're talking. Like I get it when you're in the States. Yeah, but when you're in the States and it's on full
Oh,
whack,
here
the
we
aircon.
go. Here she is. Yeah, when you're in the States, when you're in Disney,
But when you're in Skelmersdale, you don't need the aircon on. Absolute full whack. Freezing my arse off, thinking I'm actually on the Titanic. Went
yeah.
to see Minions, the new Minions. It was very good, actually. Anyway,
All right. Hear these film reviews, everyone. Are you doing a brand show podcast with that in-depth review? Went to see the Minions. Very good, actually.
I'm not talking about the Minions.
No, but I just appreciated the film review.
Anyway,
I saw Alien Romulus. Not very good, actually.
you didn't like it, did you?
Wank.
Do you know they're doing a special cocktail for you to drink during Alien Romulus at the Odeon?
What, neat vodka so you can forget about the film after you've seen it?
Yeah, 16 cans of special brew.
I used to. Have I told you about my special brew trick? Have I?
I don't know if I want to hear it. Go on.
I don't know if I've told you that. I've spoke about it somewhere on a podcast because I had to put a caveat on saying you may have seen a more well-known, better-looking, more successful comedian talking about this, and I know because they asked me. They said, "Do you do that as material?" And I said, No, I don't. I genuinely do that. And they went, "Can I use it on stage?" I went, "Yeah, of course you can." When I used to get the train a lot before I drove, I used to always have 2 cans of special brew in my backpack. Right, never opened them, never drank them, but I would sit down on the train, and the little table would come down from the seat in front, and I used to put the 2 cans there in front of me, and then just sit looking at the empty seat next to me at every stop. Like, who wants to sit next to the special brew bloke? Right, no one. I had max, like there were times when I was going to London on the Pendolino where there's people fucking hanging on to the the disability bars of the toilet because it's fucking because it leans all over the place, right? There's people clinging on. Empty seat right next to me. Nobody wants it. Busiest train in Manchester.
You know what you should have got as well? Like 2 cans of special brew and a
Condom.
tuna sandwich. No one's going to do that. Do you know what? Louise Atkinson, friend of the show, a friend of mine, a very funny comedian, she put on her stories the other day and I was howling laughing because it was so disgusting. Just a little trigger warning here. So she just finished the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. As you know, it's a really hard slog. 30 shows, whatever, in a row. Well, hundreds of shows because you're doing shows to promote your show. So she treated herself. She was flying back home to London. And she thought, I'll treat herself, to pay for the lounge at the airport.
Oh, yeah.
And she put a story up like, I've treated myself, going to go in the lounge and enjoy that just for a couple of hours. And then she put a video up. And there was a man in there clipping his nails onto a plate.
I'd have, that number, if you spot anything suspicious, I'd have rang that and went, look, there's this bloke. I'd have had him taken out my fucking MI5. I wouldn't, no
It was
way.
the sound on the video as well. You could hear it going, chick, chick. I was like, oh, God.
That's gone through me.
Yeah, you're not going near the buffet once you've seen that, are you?
I'm not going anywhere near an airport lounge where people think that's acceptable. I've seen people take their shoes off in there, and I'm like, because when I go to Glasgow, when I do the Glasgow Glee, I fly from Birmingham because this is absolutely true, and I'm aware the carbon footprint.
Oh, it's a real thing, Barry. Go on.
Yeah, but it's 60
Barry
quid.
Swift over there.
It's 60 quid return, right? My fuel wouldn't even get me to Carlisle, right?
That's all right. The planet's
on the
burning,
wheel.
but you get.
But the
you
people
save
need to
60
laugh,
quid.
Haley. The people need to laugh. The people of Glasgow need a bit of B Diddy coming up. I do always go in those lounge because I think it's like, is it maybe 23 quid or something like that for the lounge on the way back? Now, because I've got hours to kill in the airport because of the times of the flights, you either could sit around doing nothing. If you get a coffee, there's a £5. you know. And I was just like, well, they're there all day, and they just constantly keep refreshing the buffet. It's like fresh sandwiches every hour, as much coffee as you want, as much fruit as you want, your own table, PowerPoint, everything. It's great. And I've been in there when people have literally taken their shoes off and just like had their bare feet like just stretched out on the chair opposite them, and I feel like going, excuse me, can you just put your shoes back on, because that is really disgusting.
Not bare feet. Taking your shoes off is one thing, but not bare feet on seats. Do you know
Socks
you would
is
have hated...
worse.
Well, I went to soft play the other day. This is what I was going to tell you about, and you would have hated this because everyone had to take the shoes off, adults as well. So you're all inside this massive space with shoes off.
Hang on, you got the mosque by accident?
Anyway, you had to go to the toilet in your socks because your shoes are like locked up.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah?
That. What? It's the piss floor. It's the floor where.
But they took your shoes off you. They were locked up at the counter.
Locked up. This is.
They were like Akon. They were locked up. Let them out.
I'm sorry. This is soft play, not store all firearms in the hold. Yeah, if you're doing that, I'm gonna have a slash in the ball pool. I'm not putting
more hygienic than what else is in the ball pool.
I know. I'm not. That's gone through me. Your socks, they're just little mops.
Anyway, my point about this, I was going to mention this at the top of the episode about soft play, is there's a soft play I normally take my daughter to. And I'm a bit reluctant to go back because another comedian friend of ours was there with their kid. And they texted me the other day saying, well, not the other day, it was a couple of months ago now, because I haven't been back since, saying that they were sat next to someone, they recognised him. And I'm like, oh yeah, who is it? It said someone I watched on 24 Hours in Police Custody.
Really?
Yeah. And that's not like a light-hearted show. That's someone getting questioned for like something horrific.
I always wonder about that, because don't you have to sign forms to be on the telly? And like,
I never got my head around that. Ones when they're getting pulled over on the middle of the road and they've done something bad, and then it's like the full face in view.
yeah, and then you see them like driving off, giving it that out the window, and I'm like, did they sign a release form?
As they're driving off giving the V's, the police has to chase him and go, sorry mate, do you mind just signing this disclosure?
Yeah.
Just say you're all right with that. Yeah, I've never got my head around that.
Unless they are just wowed by that thing of, oh, I'm going to be on the telly.
Well, who knows? I didn't get into the nitty gritty of what this fella had done.
Well, he's doing a fucking nightclub PA in prison on Saturday. Go along, get a selfie. Hey, I had a question that came in. Someone just said, do you and Hayley ever fall out, as in proper arguments? Because I think it was because when we were winding each other, saying the one when we're winding each other up does not narrow it down. But I think
every episode.
It's every episode. They said, do we ever fall out? And it's like, well, we bicker and play along on every episode and things like that, but we don't fall out, do we?
No, not really. No, we might like be a bit shitty with each other, but we don't fall out.
No.
It's not like, because that's just what we're like, isn't it?
That's the
it's
thing.
Sort of like, because it's sort of like family in a way.
Yeah.
You know, Linda, welcome to the family. Because you just sort of go, oh, we wind each other up. That's it. Really.
Yeah.
I just like the whole falling out with people. Like, I've got certain people, obviously, in your life you don't really speak to anymore. But I just think, when you get to a certain age, I've got the energy to fall out with people.
It's a bit pointless. And I think, because obviously me and you have jibes at each other about various topics and Achilles heels of each other that we go for, but like, I don't think you're ever truly offended by anything. I'm certainly not. I'm always just like, oh, it's just what happens. It's just what you do, isn't it?
I think if we did cross the line, we'd speak to each other about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just think we're well, weirdly, I was going to say laid back, but we're not. We're absolutely not laid back.
No.
But we are about certain things. No, we're
Yeah.
like absolutely neurotic about, everything else.
Yeah. But it got me thinking, like, have you ever done a joke or something with someone, with a friend, where you have just completely crossed the line and you've been like, and you've had to sort of, it's cost you. Do you know what I mean? It's just been like, oh God, I got that wrong.
No, but I know you have because you do that weekly.
What do you mean I do it
You
weekly?
cross the line, and then you're like, "Oh, that was too much." That
No, well, what
you're
it was,
limboing under the line, mate.
I can remember years ago, when I worked at the hospital, the supervisor Lee used to do the same way. He used to get these peppers. They were called Scotch bonnets, right?
Oh yeah, I did them. Very hot.
Yeah, you used to like cut just like a bit of the flesh of the pepper off, and then just like rub it around like anything that comes in contact with. Like, it was a bloke we worked with called Davey. He used to get his cup when he wasn't in the office, and just all the way around the rim of his cup, right, and then just put it down. So then, come dinner time, he's like making his cup of tea, and he's like, yeah. Someone's nobbled me tea, and he'd fucking sling it. And then he'd go back and he'd make another cup in the same, because you don't think it's the cup. So he'd make another one, and then he's thrown his fucking milk out. He's thrown his tea bag, and the one thing he hasn't thrown.
It's a cup. Do you know what? Now you're saying that, it's all coming back to me. Yeah, I have done stuff like that. When I used to, it's when you work in a call centre or an office and you get bored. Yeah. So it was me mate Stuart, what we used to do. He was one of our really good friends, and he still is. But he became like above us. So he became like a supervisor or whatever. But because he was still our mate, we thought we could get away with doing certain stuff to him.
Yeah, this is a dodgy power dynamic, this
I know.
one.
And I think we sellotaped fish underneath his desk.
Fish was 43, worked in accounts.
He sellotaped fish under his desk so the fish would smell. We did all sorts of stuff like that, messed with his chair so his chair would collapse.
That is one that I've learned never fuck around with someone's chair, because I saw.
Well, he's in an ergonomic one now because of the accident.
Well, you see, someone we know, we had like a close little group of friends, and they did this thing where, when someone goes to sit down and they pull the chair away from underneath them.
Oh no,
so they
do
sit
that.
down, fall down, cracked his tailbone because it was a tiled floor. Just fell back, bang on the tile floor, and split his tailbone off the impact. Now that, right, that's obviously that wasn't his intention, but it's just like, that's a joke that's gonna backfire. So never fuck with people's chairs. But a different friend from that social group, I was staying over at his. He's quite a powerful man in comedy now, really. A bit of a mistake. But me and a friend called Dave, we were staying over at his, and I'd got hold of some of these peppers, and we'd all been out, we'd all had a drink. My friend, let's call him Peter, had gone and fallen asleep. And me and Dave were in his flat, and we were like, oh, look, we've got these peppers. Right, let's get to work. So instead of just doing like one cup, like his morning cup or something like that, I decided that we should do every cup and glass. So we went round his cupboards, did every single one, right? Like, both laughing while we do it. Of course, that's not enough for the joke, is it? Right, what else can we do? Right, let's go and do some cutlery.
The rim of his penis.
So we went to the bathroom. Oh, brilliant. Toothbrush. There we go. Let's get that rubbed on.
No.
Right. We go to bed. Forget about it. Don't hear anything Don't hear from him for a few days, but that's normal. Then it goes to like a couple of weeks. And I'm like, speak to Dave. You heard from Peter? He's like, no, he's raging. I went, what? And he went, yeah, he's not very happy. You need to leave him alone to calm down. I went, what's happened? He went, well, two things happened. His then missus had been on a night out. They'd gone on a night out together, got too drunk, gone back, gone to bed. She's been very poorly in the night, throwing up. He's gone to the bathroom, he'd gone to the kitchen to get her a glass of water, picked up one of the, filled it up. She's drank it. Her fucking lips, because like your lips would swell up from the fucking. She's been sick. It's now burning her nose. She's like, she's gone through a night of hell for this, right? So I'm like, oh shit, yeah, he's gonna be upset about that. And Dave went, yeah, it's not actually that he's annoyed about. I went, what's he annoyed about? He went, did you have to do his kid's toothbrush?
Oh my God.
I think his son was about 6.
Oh, honest to God.
Got in, literally scrubbing it into it.
You're the definite. In fact, taking it too far, there should be a picture of you in the dictionary. We should have the taking it too far competition. If you've ever took it too far of a practical joke, let us know. If you're a patron, just drop us a DM. If not, email us, thewarriorspodcast@gmail.com. I've literally just messaged my friend Kev because he is the master of taking it too far. And I think he could really compete with you. I've just asked him to give me an example of the best practical joke he's ever played. So I'll give you an example of one that I remember. So when I used to work again at that call centre, he said, can you ring me mate and tell him you just seen an advert in the shop on this street, whatever street it was in Manchester, for a washing machine for sale. So I ring this fella up. And bear in mind, another of our friends have already just rung him saying he's seen a washing machine for sale in another different shop 5 minutes down the road.
Right.
So I was the second or third call at this point. So I ring up and I crumbled because the fat guy was like, bloody hell, this is a fourth call I've had. Where did you see the advert? And I went, in this shop. He went, oh my God, it's not another one. He went, oh, and he was like freaking out, right? So I was like, all right, okay, sorry. And I felt so guilty. And then Kev was wetting himself laughing. And he goes, the funnier thing is, he's waiting for a call for a job interview today. And I was like, oh, you are. Now, if I would have known all that, I wouldn't have took part in the plan. Anyway, I've just messaged him. So I've just texted him saying, can I give us some examples. Now, I remember these as well. It's just re-jogged my memory. This one's really funny. So he come in and he was buzzing his head off, right? He goes, oh, I've got the best practical joke. And this is for his housemate at the time. I've come up with the best practical joke ever. He goes, I'm not going to say his housemate's name, so let's just call him Terry. Right. Terry's going to be in the house.
It's 1972.
Terry's going to be in the house on his own, right? He goes, so I'm going to play this little kid on the street to run. When Terry's in the front, I'm going to pay this kid on the street to run round the back and throw a brick through the back window, right? And he goes, so he'll be fucking shitting himself. So he'll run in the back to see what's happened. And then I'm going to pay the kid to run round the front and throw a brick through the front window.
No,
right?
What?
Hang on. So, and then he's wetting himself laughing at all this. And I was like, right, well, then you're just breaking 2 windows on your house. He goes, it's council. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
No, this is even worse. His housemate at the time had something wrong with one of his arms, so he could only use his left arm or something like that. I couldn't use his right arm at the time.
Mm.
So they used to always go this Sainsbury's in Fallowfield, and they do a shop together. So Kev's putting all stuff in the trolley, loads of stuff, like more stuff that they'd normally buy, right?
Right.
They get to the checkout. Kev goes, oh, I forgot me. This is at the time, obviously, before you're paying for everything on your card. I need to go and get some cash out. I won't be a sec. Okay. Terry's putting all the shopping through. Meanwhile, Kev goes across the road to the pub across the road, sits there having a pint.
This isn't a practical joke. This is just...
That's what I mean. Wait, Terry has to pay for it all and then pack it with his one arm.
That's not a practical joke. That's just being a cunt. I did this really practical joke the other day. You know me, mate, right? You know his car, right? We just slashed his tyres. Oh, his face. When he couldn't get to work. Oh yeah, we do this really funny thing where, like, you know, when everyone goes to bed, we just turn off all the carbon monoxide detectors and light a little disposable barbecue in the living room, right? Honestly, you should see, like, honestly, the paramedics' faces is a fucking picture, right? You know, when they're, like, taking them out, like, you know, in the bags, like, yeah, we do this, you know, this really funny joke, right? Like, you know, when your mate goes on holiday and you're keeping an eye on the house, right? We, like, go around and do this, like, dead funny thing. Like, we turn all the taps on and put the plugs in and just, like, leave it for days. They come back and, like, their life's ruined. It's fucking boss. Like, his face when he comes in and he's just like, oh, fuck me house, me belongings.
I might see if I can get him to do a voice note for us about...
I don't want this man having my phone number. Can I just be clear? I want no...
Oh, he's lovely. He's just... Can't talk.
He fucked off to the pub and left his one-armed mate to do a big shop. Right, don't tell me he's lovely Hayley Ellis.
No, but you, Barry, wiped the chili over a child's toothbrush.
I didn't know it was okay. My mate Mike once put an advert in the paper. You know how you could put... Do you remember the yellow... God, might really show my age. You used to get the yellow paper that you could put adverts in for free. Like, it was sort of like a basic eBay. It was free to put ads in. It cost you 50p. It was just like a jumble sale. And Mike put an advert in. He just put, for sale. Dragon, £100. It's just to be stupid. And he said he had someone who rang him up, just went, hello, you selling a dragon? I went, yeah, 100 quid. He went, what, a dragon? I went, yeah, it breathes fire, eats princesses. And the guy went, oh, I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Eats princesses. Oh dear, right, look, really sorry everyone, we haven't got time. By the way, if this is ran slightly under, it's definitely for legal reasons. If you join the Patreon, we'll tell you the ones that we couldn't, that we had to edit out because they just went too far. Hayley, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining me, I'm not the fucking host.
What's he Latterman over there?
I
hey, if you have any worries, by the way, we've got loads of worries to read out, we will do that. If you have anything that you want to message us about, have you ever took a joke too far, get in touch. If you're Patreon, slide into the DMs, patreon.com/warriors.
This 100% is my sense of humour. Your best practical jokes. Even the ones that didn't go too far, the ones that went way too far, send them all in, because I guarantee they'll put me on the floor laughing.
Yeah, send them in. Or if you're not a Patreon member, thewarriorspodcast@gmail.com. Or you can drop us a DM on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Just shout at us if you see us in the street. Tell us your worry there. Anyway, we will be back.
I've got a problem! Oh, God.
There's a spider with an erection in my yard. Do you know what? Drop us a DM.
See you later.
Bye. You have been listening to the Warriors podcast, hosted by me, Hayley Ellis, and him, Barry Dodds.
All artwork by John Cooper and Matthew Reed. All editing and audio by Hayley and Barry, with additional sound production by Grinters.
If you'd like to get in touch, then send us an email to thewarriorspodcast@gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter @thewarriorspod.
Thanks for listening.